From the Riverfront Sports Network, I'm Clayson Davis reporting here in Belle Fourche as we preview the Belle Fourche Broncs 2026-27 football season. Head coach Sean Sweet joins us in his third year at the helm of the Broncs. Anyways, Coach, how are we doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me. I mean, every time we're together, it means football season's a little bit closer, so it's exciting.
So, again, start of your third year, you've seen improvement from the Broncs. Your first 2 years of the program, you had a great buy-in to the offseason, at least according to the social media post that you guys did a good job of posting this summer. Talk about some of the offseason programs you did throughout the summer and how excited does that get you for the season?
Like you said, I think that was our biggest emphasis as a staff coming in, taking over 3 years ago, is getting our guys in the weight room, getting them more athletic, bigger, faster, stronger, but really keying in on being more athletic and getting our guys to run, jump faster, higher, so it can translate to all of our sports. Like you said, we had a huge buy-in from when I took over this program 3 years ago. We had 4 guys in the weight room. Last year, we hovered around 10 to 12. This year we were around that 18 to 20, 23 mark. So like you said, their kids are starting to buy in and they're starting to believe in what we're doing, and it's fun to see.
So you look back at last year, you guys were a play away from making the Class 11A state playoffs, a loss to Rapid City Christian, but you guys had a strong end to the season. How does last year's finale motivate you guys for this season?
It's just showing the kids what we're capable. If they buy in and do the things that they need to do in the off season, the playing and the wins will take care of itself. I think our senior class last year did a great job of laying the foundation of how we want to play and the tradition we want to set here at Belle Fourche. And our younger kids have really did a good job of taking that momentum from the last game of the season. Obviously, it didn't end the way that we wanted it to end, but like you said, using that momentum and taking it into the offseason and just keep building and building.
I'm glad you brought up those seniors, as you got quite a few to replace. I mean, Gavin Pearson, Spencer Bush, Emmett Lip, Rafe Parmeter, and a good host of quality offensive, defensive linemen as well. How do you go about trying to replace a very impactful senior class from a season ago, and who do you see stepping up into some big roles this year?
Like you said, my hat's off to those guys. Those guys from last year know what they mean to me and what they meant to our program. They're going to be tough to replace. We're not looking to replace those guys. We'll never be able to replace those guys, but it's getting those young guys to step up and mature. That's a big conversation that we had with our kids over the offseason, is it's time to mature. Like you said, graduating a big senior class, our freshmen, our sophomore class, they're really going to have to grow up pretty quick. We don't really have a strong junior class. There's only about 5 or 6 in our junior class. So those younger kids are going to have to step up and grow up really, really fast. So, like I said, replacing those guys are going to be tough, but some of our younger kids have stepped up to the challenge this offseason, and we're going to see what they can do when the bullets start flying.
One position you don't have to replace is quarterback. You had a few quarterbacks you used a season ago. How much confidence does that put to help lead your offense? And who are some other returners that you're going to have to try to rely on this year?
Obviously, Kane's a great athlete for our school. He had a great baseball season. Rev is kind of a guy that kind of has taken over the summer, kind of at the quarterback position. He's kind of been leading all of our throwing sessions and things like that. So it's going to be a battle. We'll kind of see how things play out in the fall. But like you said, there's 2 kids that have playing experience at quarterback for us, and we're going to let those guys duke it out, and we'll kind of see where the chips fall. But like I said, Rev's kind of been taking the majority of those snaps over the off season and kind of getting our guys together for the throwing sessions. And I've been really impressed with Revan's leadership ability, getting his receivers out, throwing with them, building that chemistry and things like that.
Depending on what quarterback wins the job, does that kind of affect the philosophy you want to put on the field on offense?
I think our offensive identity is going to be a little bit different than it was last year. I think just kind of tailoring to our players and what we got this year. We had Riley Dighton last year in the backfield. He was more of a speed, more athletic, kind of shifty guy, whereas this year we got a host of backs, Jory Olson, Kason Schmidt, David Crott from baseball. You might know him from the Diamond. These are all bigger type backs that are going to run underneath their pads, and they're going to be physical. And It's going to be fun to watch them. On the edges, I think Vin Garza is going to be one, Johnny Estrada, kind of getting those guys in and kind of being more play action oriented and things like that. A little less experience on the wide receiver end, just losing Gavin. I think Gavin caught like 39 balls for us last year. Our next highest total was Kane with 12. So replacing those guys and getting those guys varsity reps is going to be huge for us.
Describe your coaching staff helping you with this season.
Obviously, we got started with Tanner Clarkson. He's our offensive coordinator, coming from BH, played quarterback at BH. He's kind of handled the strength and conditioning for us over the last, since I would say about March till through the summer. So he's done a great job getting our kids bigger, faster, stronger. And obviously he brings a ton of knowledge about the offensive side, quarterback side of the ball. Then we got Justin Sweet. He's actually my younger brother. He's going to coach the offense and defensive line. He does a phenomenal job with our big guys and getting those guys ready to play. He brings a lot of energy, and he can really relate to those big kids. And he was really the catalyst behind the Emmett Lips and things like that. The Ian Voiles is coming back this year. The Drew Coyles and things like that. He's done a great job developing those guys. Then we got Matt Schrader. He's going to coach our running backs, outside safeties. A guy that's kind of came up through our middle school program, knows our kids really well, has kind of been with them through those younger ages, so really knows how to coach those kids. And then Kyle Grassley, he's going to be our special teams coordinator, defensive ends, and tight end coach. He's going to take a more hands-on approach with the special teams. We're going to try to do more things special teams-wise to kind of get our kids going, try to flip the game and kind of create more momentum on the special teams side of the ball. And then we got Cole Spincieri. He's actually played with my younger brother. He's going to come in, kind of help out with the running backs, defensive backs, brings a lot of knowledge from there, played the position. So just continuing to build on those guys. What I can say about our staff is we got a lot of guys that really love football, and they love our kids. And like I said, they know how to coach them, and they're going to coach our kids hard, but we're going to love them up at the same time.
Head coach Sean Sweet from Belle Fourche Football joins us to preview the Bronx 2026-27 season. Now changing gears to the defensive side of the ball, you guys had a strong end of the season defensively. Again, holding a explosive Rapid City Christian squad to, I believe, one of their lowest point totals of the season, at least top 3 in their season. But how do you build off of that defensive strength last year at the ending of the season going into this beginning of the season this year?
Defensively, we got a lot of open spots. Defensively, we're going to have a lot of guys competing for spots. I really, especially at the linebacker position, there's probably 5 or 6 kids that are going to be in the rotation at linebacker, fighting for playing time, which is obviously pretty good. I think Charlie Hauk, he's going to be a guy for us that kind of mans the middle. He's had a phenomenal spring, phenomenal summer. Probably our pound-for-pound strongest kid, was our defensive MVP last year, so he's kind of coming back to take charge in the middle. And then you got Kayshawn Smith. He's a little bit smaller kid, but he's gonna he'll thump you. He likes to get under his pad. He's a bronc rider, so he's a tough kid. He likes to get after it. And then David Crott is another kid coming back. He's kind of took football off for a little bit, but he got in the rotation at BH and did some good things. Tegan Carbajal is another kid that's going to be in the rotation. Ben Raba had another one with a great summer. So linebacker-wise, we're really excited about those groups. Defensive line-wise, I think Jory Olson, Ian Voiles, Drew Coyle, and Kobe Bowden, those guys are going to kind of man the front. We're really excited about what our defensive ends can do, especially Jory Olson and Bowden. They are high motor kids, tough kids that like to get after it. So we're excited to let those guys loose. Defensive backs wise, that's probably where we're going to probably be the youngest at. We lost a lot with Gavin and Rafe and all those guys, Tegan Fredrickson, Garrett Houston, all those guys. Replacing those guys. So that's kind of where we talked about. We're going to be pretty young in the secondary, so those guys are going to have to grow up and be ready to play.
Looking at your 2026-27 schedule, Coach, again, some interesting matchups this year. I mean, you start the season versus the defending Class 11B state champions at St. Thomas More. A few Black Hills Conference opponents in Hot Springs, Douglas from 11AA, and Rapid City Christian and Custer, of course. You also have a road trip to Vermilion, and of course you got to take on Del Rapids and Madison, who've always been really hard to compete with, as well as Lennox in your class. Overall, give your impression on the schedule. I know you don't want to look too far ahead of STM, but overall, what games are you super excited for? And give your opinions on the Bronx's schedule this year.
Obviously, like you said, we have an extremely tough schedule. There's no doubt about it. We're not going to duck from it. We're not going to run from it. But obviously, starting off with the Class B defending state champs, they've always been a huge challenge for us, a huge rival. I think they're going on 20-something years of beating us, but they kind of lost a lot last year. They gotta rebuild and reload. So starting off with them, and then like you said, Del Rapids comes to town. They're usually a Class A powerhouse. They got a couple kids that are already signed to SDSU, I believe, a couple of linemen, things like that. So they're going to be a unique challenge. And then Madison, we've matched up with for the last 3 years. We know what they can bring to the table. Their quarterback's another kid that's getting D1 looks and things like that. So, and then you just progress down the line. The Custers, the Hot Springs, the Black Hills Conferences, adding Douglas to our schedule, things like that. So it's going to be a tough one. Then obviously we got Lennox coming to town as well. It's going to be a tough schedule, but we talked about it all spring, all winter, that we're not going to run from it. We're going to embrace the challenge, and what a great opportunity for us at Belle Fourche to play some of the best.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us here with KDSJ Sports. Good luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.